Jacolbe, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
What is the process for you been like? What was it? I think we played 54 snaps the other day, if that's right.
Yeah.
Like going from maybe 5, 7 snaps a game to this workload. What are the challenges there, and how have you tried to adapt to that?
Yeah. First and foremost, it's truly been a blessing just to have the opportunity to get those snaps. It's pretty much all I've ever wanted. Of course, it's been a struggle for me, just my collegiate career, coming from Ohio State, tearing my Achilles there, having a season-ending injury starting off my career. Then, finally coming back home, transferring to North Carolina, and coming into a new situation and having to learn, a new culture, a new staff, a new scheme, and really just, trying to find a way. And I feel like I'm always a firm believer that good things come to those who wait, and I've stayed patient. I've prepared the right way each and every day, and I feel like now I'm kind of reaping the benefits of that. So it's definitely been a great opportunity just to have to showcase my talents and let my light shine.
Jacolbe, with Georgia Tech coming in here, the 2 times that you've seen them since you've been here, it's been a tough loss here and a tough loss there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you kind of owe them one for those 2?
Yeah, most definitely. We never want to lose games, but since I've been here, like you said, we've lost to them once here and then once there, which I didn't get a chance to travel to one last year because I was ended up finishing the season with an injury. So definitely looking forward to playing that team. They're a talented ball team. They're going to come in here with a fight. So definitely going to have to, hone in and bring it all together in order to get a victory in the end.
When did the conversations, I know that, let me backtrack. Coach Cowan said you got a little bit of work at the rush position in August.
Yep. But
when did the conversations intensify where they said, you're going to go play, you're going to get a ton of reps during practice this week, you're going to be that guy during the game now?
I'd probably say right when Cowan kind of got hurt, we got the news that he had got hurt. And we knew we had guys at that position like Tyler and Jay Brown, but they just didn't have the experience that I had playing in games before. So he kind of came up to me and him and Coach Ted. Coach Ted, Coach Monachino, and Coach Collins came up to me and just kind of made sure I was okay with it first before, having me learn the entire new position. But I told him I was ready for it. Really, all I wanted was opportunity. So wherever that would be where I could get more of an opportunity to play ball, I was willing to do it. So I'll probably say it started, I want to say probably about the Central week maybe. So yeah, and then on from there, it's been
What's been the most challenging aspect of playing that position? You've been in some pass coverage, maybe you hadn't been in before?
Yeah, well, the good thing about that is coming from a place like Ohio State, I learned, about dropping back in coverage as a defensive end there. So I was able to kind of, use the previous experience from there and kind of bring it into, what I'm doing now, which is pretty similar. But it's definitely been quite a challenge just trying to learn everything on the fly. But, like I said, I trust in my ability, and all the guys have helped me as well, like Cowan during the time that he was out. He helped me learn things. We sat down, watched the film, did what we had to do in order to make sure that I was fully prepared. So it's been a great thing.
Was there something personally rewarding for you given the path that you've taken to get to this point where you're a major part of the last few games because you've been out there logging a lot of snaps when, I know Adam asked you about the snaps, but something personally rewarding where, now I have a taste of what this is like.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, all I've ever wanted is opportunity. And when you finally get something that you've worked hard for, you put the time and energy for, it's definitely a rewarding feeling. Just knowing that, the time is finally here and what you're going to do with it. We always talk about, having opportunities, but maximizing those opportunities. So I feel like it's been a great thing, and I'm looking forward to, allowing myself to showcase even more as I play more.
Jacolbe, to go off of that, you're mentioning the opportunity, being able to take advantage of it, things like that. I guess thinking back to when you ended up deciding to, transfer to North Carolina, what about here made this a place where, you wanted to get that, opportunity and kind of extend your career?
Yeah, for me, growing up, was always a Tar Heel born and bred, whether that be basketball or football. never really had any big Duke fans in my family. We're a big Carolina family, so I kind of knew that, you know, coming back home, I had a great relationship with Coach Brown and the staff before, all throughout recruiting and before I even made the decision to commit to Ohio State. But coming back, I knew I wanted to go somewhere where I knew I'd be well taken care of, and I felt like Carolina would be the place. And not only is it convenient, close to home, 2 hours from home in Charlotte, so really was a no-brainer for me. I just wanted to come somewhere where I knew I'd be well taken care of, and Carolina felt like home for me.
Yeah, and then to go off of that, obviously, you know, you've been in college football in general for, you know, a while now. How do you see the game differently now than maybe when you started off at Ohio State? Like, just over the course of years, like, in what ways do you feel that you see the game differently?
Yeah, the game is definitely evolving. It's constantly evolving. I feel like on all levels, but in terms of the college football atmosphere, I'd probably say just the NIL, the world of NIL is completely different. Really just scheme-wise, the things that people do, you're starting to see a lot of different things, offensively, defensively, and philosophies have changed. So it's like I said, the game is constantly evolving, but it's definitely been a lot that has come about as my years have gone in college.
You were a highly recruited dude coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you probably thought, hey, go to Ohio State, go to the NFL, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like, in terms of highs and lows for you the last couple of years, what have the lows looked like? I'm sure there's been a lot of disappointment there to try to process.
No, definitely. Like I said, when I started off my career, going into, because it was COVID year when I kind of went into college, so we had went home for COVID and we're off, and then we came back, and I want to say the second workout maybe, that's when I tore my Achilles back in June before the season. So of course that was a huge, you know, just detriment to me, just because I know I had worked hard. I felt like I was going to get an opportunity as a freshman to play a good amount of snaps. And, you know, when you have an injury like that, which I had suffered injuries before in the past, but never anything of that magnitude. So definitely took some time to adjust, but, you know, I made a full recovery from that. And then from then on out, I'd probably say another thing that took place was when I lost my dean of my fraternity, who was like a best friend of me in a tragic car accident last summer. And this was in July, so this was right before the season, going into fall camp. Had a lot on my mind, never had lost anybody that close to me, so it was tough. And, you know, I had to lean on my support system just to pick me up. And then going into the season, we get to fall camp, and that's when I have another injury, which I battled through it, but eventually had to end up shutting it down last season because of that. So I'd probably say last year by far was probably the hardest year of my life, dealing with death, dealing with an injury, when you thought that, you know, this was finally gonna be the year. So definitely it's been a lot, but like I said, I kept my faith, I've stayed strong, remained strong, and now we're here. So I'm just, you know, thankful for the opportunity, and it's been great.
What's the fraternity?
Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Gotcha.
Your folks good over there?
Just wanted to check.
Your folks good over there?
You said, yeah, they do. Yeah,
They were on my flight coming back from Minnesota.
really.
And I think your mom was wearing a jersey. And when you're up here talking, it made me think about, I asked you how rewarding it was for you, but they've been through this too. And they travel all these games. And I think that night you may have played about 8 or 10 plays or something. How rewarding is it for them seeing you when they go to a game and they're going to see you on the field a lot instead of a special teams player or a couple of snaps here and there?
Yeah, it's been definitely rewarding for them. I say, regardless of the circumstance, situation, they've always been my biggest fans, my #1 supporters. Even when I was at Ohio State, not just my parents, but my grandparents traveled to every game too. So just having that support system, knowing that, you know, you're going to have people that have your back regardless of whatever the circumstance is, then it's just knowing that drives me to keep going and to keep on pushing. So for them, it's definitely been rewarding. Finding out that I would be starting against our rival school, Duke, that was, you know, a phenomenal thing to find out for them. Just, you know, knowing what I've been through, knowing all the challenges I faced, and how I've been able to persevere through those things. So it's definitely been a rewarding feeling for all of us.
And I saw it last week when Carolina put out the tweet that the captains were. You quickly retweeted that. There had to be a lot of pride there for you.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've always seen myself as a leader, and I take pride in being a leader, not just vocally, but through actions as well. So having the opportunity, being selected by the staff as a captain for the week was definitely a true blessing in itself. Just shows the work that I put in and how I carry myself.
With the injury history that you mentioned, when Cowan goes down with an injury, an off-the-field injury, sort of like what you said in your workout, were you able to sort of pick him up, just say, hey, you're going to get through this? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Did your history help you in sort of keeping his head up?
No doubt. I feel like not just Cowan in itself, anybody that has experienced a career in an injury, season in an injury, anything of those sorts, I've been able to kind of pick those guys up, but specifically Cowan, I knew, being this is last year, it would be tough on him, but we all kind of, everybody in the deep position room, defensive line room, kind of lifted him up and told him, we're going to get through this together, regardless. So just to keep his head up, keep his faith, and that's what he's done. So, and I feel like he's truly made himself back now. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing him more.
Jacolbe, from your perspective, what do you feel, if anything, the defense needs to get back to doing? I guess if you compare it to the first 3 games, as far as the sacks, tackles, loss, things like that. Do you feel there's something the defense needs to kind of get back to doing, this weekend and moving forward?
Yeah, I think going back and looking at the film from the losses that we've had recently, I think the biggest thing, it all comes down to maybe 4 or 5 plays in each game that kind of determine the game. We've played good ball. We've definitely displayed a much better defense than in the past. But I feel like it just goes down to, eliminating the little things, little errors that may be, and just, sticking together when things get tough, when things aren't going our way, making sure everybody's on the same page, making sure we do the little things right, so that we can end up on the other side of the victory.
We were talking to Jeff Collins the other day. He was saying, something similar you said of, feeling like, you guys play good football, and then there's, certain plays of, leaky yardage here and there, things like that. I guess what are those film sessions like of, kind of identifying, those specific areas and just understanding what needs to, get corrected in those moments?
Yeah, I think you kind of have to take everything with a grain of salt. You can't really take things personal because, we're big on accountability, especially Coach Collins. He'll let you know when you've done something right, and he'll also let you know when you've done something wrong. And I feel like being that it's been that way, it's kind of helped all of us kind of grow as players and as men because, in life you can get told the good things, but somebody might not always tell you what's best for you. And I think everybody takes that with a grain of salt and kind of learns from it. So we're all on the same page. We're all being positive each and every day and just trying to stick together so that we can, find a way to come out on the other side. So, and I do have confidence that we will, because like I said, we've displayed great defense at times. We just got to all collectively put it together.
I know Jeff made a point with us. He said he made a point with you guys as a group that this week isn't about him, even though it's Georgia Tech.
Oh, yeah.
But how much would you like to get this one for him?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Coming from, since he came from that place, I know it was a place for him that he kind of valued at a time. So definitely would be great to get this win for him, knowing, just the background and history there. And I think we're all, excited. Started off the great work week today in practice. So looking forward to continuing to build on it. And, hopefully, like I said, we can put everything together this week and finally come out with a dub after the losing streak.
All right.
Thank you, Jacolbe. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.